Hey, Facebook family, it's Wednesday. Welcome. Welcome to Sergeant Dorsey Speaks live on Facebook. And even though it's the holiday season, I was not going to be deterred, right? I wanted to come and say, first of all, I hope everybody's having a happy holiday, right? Whatever it is you celebrate. I hope that you're having a good time doing just that. Hey, K. Rose. I want to start off by thanking my Facebook faithful, if you will, my family who's been consistent in terms of watching me and sharing my page with other people. I'm going to ask you again as I come on today to do just that. Share my video, tell a friend. I am just really wired and appreciative of the outpouring of support, the words of encouragement that I have received from each and every one of you over this past 2018, and I'm looking forward to doing more of that in next year, 2019. I've got some things that are already set up for the first couple of months of the year. I'm coming to Florida. Be ready. Want my Florida family to reach out and holler at me. You know, I'll try, and I'm going to try after I get done with my business there in Florida. I'm going to try to spend a couple of extra days just maybe meeting with some of you, having dinner, because you guys know I'm a foodie, right? Having dinner with some of you, and just saying, hey, so holler at a sister. Find me, go to my inbox, find me on Sergeant Dorsey Speaks, find me on Sergeant Cheryl Dorsey, retired LAPD. Those are both of my Facebook pages. And we've got a couple of weeks before I get there. I'm coming in early February. So I will be speaking, and I wish I could invite all of you to my speaking event, but it will be on a closed university campus. And so I'm really excited about that because, you know, one of the things that I know with regards to fixing this problem that we have is that it's going to take more than just me talking about it, and it's going to take me talking to young folks because the youth are our future, right? And I'm just very excited about being on this university campus. And so this is not my first time speaking to a group of young people. If some of you may know, last summer I was on an HBCU campus, Prairie View A&M, speaking with young folks who want to make a difference, who are very engaged and involved. And so I'm very excited to be doing more of that in next year. And to that end, if any of you have connections with, know somebody who is connected with an organization who could benefit from my Comply and Complain speaking tour, trying to keep young folks safe. I know you guys know your rights, but I want you to live. I want you to see 2020, right? I want you to see 2020. So anybody with any affiliations with 100 Black Men, you guys got chapters all over. Anybody connected with the Divine Nine, Boys and Girls Club of America, and also Jack and Jill. I've been invited to speak to a chapter later in the year, and I hope that comes to fruition. We're still kind of working it out. But I've spoken to Jack and Jill here locally, to the local chapter, and I forget what region it is, but nonetheless. So I'm here and I'm available, and looking forward to doing more of that in the following year. So wanted to say special shout out and thank you to my Facebook faithful. And listen, there's 5,000 of you guys, so don't be mad at me. I cannot name you all. And sometimes people get mad at me for the few names I do shout out. But I want to say a special thanks, as this is my last broadcast for the year 2018, to John Jones, to Vernon. I want to thank Barry over in New York, and my PD brother Michael, who's been a consistent encourager, supporter, fan, if you will. I appreciate you. And to some new folks, Carolyn and Julia, who are new to faith, want to thank you for being here, and hopefully you too. If I'm getting a little close, you guys, it's because something is going on here, and I need to fix this. My phone, and my nose is running. What's up with that? It's hot. I've got fan and lights on, so I hope I don't get sick in the midst of all this. But anyway, hey Barry, yeah, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for stopping by and being a faithful. So I appreciate that. But listen, I'm not going to be long because it's still holiday time, and I've been getting my best couch potato on, right? I've been watching a lot of TV, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that too, because listen, there's a show that I'm watching before I get into some of this other stuff, and I need somebody to talk to. Are you guys hip to Dirty John? Are you guys watching that show, Dirty John? Because it is amazing. It's based on a true story of a lady here in California, and hey Dominique, lady here in California, and she got caught up with this guy who was just a scam artist, and oh my goodness. Dirty John, if you have not seen it, then you need to. It comes on every Sunday, and also coming on is another show that I'm hooked on called Escape from Dannemora, which is about the two white guys that escaped from the prison, and they ultimately got caught after a few weeks of being on the run, another based on a true story situation. So right now I'm doing a lot of binge watching, you guys. Don't judge me. But I did want to step away from the TV for just a moment. Thanks, Tyrone. I appreciate those kind words. Wanted to step away. Hey, Vicky, listen, girl, when I come to Florida, I'm going to reach out to you, Vicky McNeil. I'm going to reach out to you. I know I'm going to be about 2 hours, I think, hour and a half away from where you are. But like I said, I'm going to hang around and dilly-dally in Florida for just a bit. And I hope I get a chance to see you while I'm there. So one more thing. I know I posted up on my Facebook page about Centoya Brown, the young woman who is awaiting clemency from the Tennessee governor. And I did post that he had granted clemency to about 11 people or so, but Centoya was not one of them. And so even though he's already granted clemency, I think that he's not done, is what I'm believing. And so he has until January the 19th. So I'm going to put up a link that I came across, and it's from colorofchange.org. It's a link, and there they speak to what it is that they would like for us to do as we try to help this young woman be granted clemency. And so you can certainly remember, you can call his office, you can find him on Facebook and on Twitter, and just ask that he grant this young woman who's been in prison now for about 15, 16 years for killing a guy who had taken her hostage, if you will, and immersed her in the world of sex trafficking. She's looking at first being eligible for parole, I think, after 25 years, or she may have to do the whole 51-year sentence that she was given. So there's still time. January 19th is the Tennessee governor's last day in office, and so we have until then to beg. And, you know, I'm not one to really beg, but in this instance, you know, I'm not too proud, right? Is that a song? I'm not too proud to beg on behalf of Centoya Brown. So, you know, it's going to take more than just, you know, one thing to fix what's going on. And so in the new year, I'll be talking again about the kinds of things. I don't want to come to you week after week and just complain about what's going on and preach to the choir, because you guys know you live in it. It's your everyday life. You know what's up. I also want to offer you real solutions, things that I think might be helpful. Understand that what I'm saying is not a guarantee. Be clear, because the unknown is the officer that stops you on any given day. So when I tell you the things that I share with you, I'm just saying, based on my years of experience and knowing a little bit about police culture, I think if you try this, it might be helpful. Don't guarantee it. Don't pretend to know what will fix this. But comply and complain certainly is a part of it. And I had someone reach out to me the other day, and this person was suggesting that I do reach out to the youth, not knowing that this is something that I do already. I talk to all ages, because I talk to young people and I talk to young people's parents, right? Because we're going to be the ones that are going to say something as a parent that will resonate with our young people to get them to survive that police encounter. And that's the name of the game. At the end of the day, everyone wants to go home safely. So let's be mindful of that. And then also, I just want to remind you again, for those of you who are new, because there are some newbies here, that I also have a podcast, Sergeant Dorsey Speaks, that comes out every Tuesday now. It didn't drop yesterday because of the holiday, but it did drop today. So stop by and subscribe to Sergeant Dorsey Speaks. Hey, Deborah James. Subscribe, whatever podcast platform it is that you are on. Subscribe to my podcast, Sergeant Dorsey Speaks, and you will pick up some nuggets there that you don't get here. And, of course, make sure you tell everybody about that as well. Sergeant Dorsey Speaks is my podcast, also on my YouTube channel. So to my YouTube subscribers, thank you. End of the year broadcast for you as well. I will continue with my weekly Facebook Live in 2019, and I will share that with my YouTube subscribers. Thank you so much for hanging in there. You know, I had a lot of people reach out to me when I did my whole Happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas thing, because I know there's folks that don't celebrate certain holidays. And listen, just know if it doesn't apply to you, you know, forgive me. If you don't celebrate Christmas, I get it. But I was just saying Merry Christmas to those who do. Yeah, it's kind of hard trying to please everybody. So y'all know what I do. I just really try to please me, right? I just try to please me, and I hope you get something in the process. But anyway, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sergeant Dorsey Speaks, and then also visit my website, www.sgt, which is the abbreviation for Sergeant, SGT, SherylDorsey.com. And on my website is a tab or a link, if you will, that will take you to my autobiography, Black and Blue, The Creation of a Social Advocate, as well as my third book in the Black and Blue series, which will be coming out early next year as well, and that is called Black and Blue, The Creation of a Whistleblower. So I'm going to show you what that looks like in case you haven't seen it. And listen, Barry, we went through this before, so dude, I don't have it backwards. It's just that this is the way it shows with my camera. So this is my forthcoming book, Black and Blue, The Creation of a Whistleblower. And you can read the first chapter for both of my books if you go to my website. Read the first chapter, and Black and Blue, The Creation of a Social Advocate is also available on Kindle for those of you who don't like to do it old school and, you know, don't want to hang on to a whole bunch of books. You can get Black and Blue, The Creation of a Social Advocate on Kindle as well. What are you saying, Barry? You never made a complaint. No, I know you just like to talk. I get it. I appreciate you. So anyway, so that's that. Don't forget to go to the link that I shared with the what you can do for Centoya Brown, and then I'm just going to share this, even though I talked about it on my podcast. But I just want to share this with you because I think this this bears mentioning a second time here. Everybody's not on every platform. And here in California, we've got a little situation going on. For those of you who may not know, there was a Senate bill that passed earlier in the year, 1421. The reason that 1421 is such a big deal is because it is designed to create more transparency with regards to police shootings, uses of force that end up in death and or great bodily injury. Police departments in California are going to be required now to relinquish some stuff that they wasn't wanting to relinquish before. And so that was a good thing that Senate Bill 1421 passed. But here's the thing. In the city of Inglewood, there's a black man, a mayor, by the name of James T. Butts. For my LA folks, y'all know who I'm talking about. He was a police officer in Inglewood, and then he went on to be the police chief in Inglewood, and then went on to become the police chief in Santa Monica. Well, he's the mayor now in Inglewood, and so Chief Butts, Mayor Butts, he found a do-around, you guys. He found a way to work around Senate Bill 1421. So what he's going to do between now and next week, the 1st, when 1421 goes into effect, becomes law, he's going to destroy the records for about 100 officer-involved shootings and uses of force, so that he won't have to make this information available. Now, I don't know what's specific about these particular 100 leftover cases, why he picked these 100, I don't know, but he's going to destroy them. And so the question that begs to be answered is, what are you hiding? What's the big deal? And I always talk about the problems on police departments. I always say it's top down. It's police chief down. This guy was the police chief on 2 different departments, and because he looks like me, remember, that brings me no comfort. All right, because I don't know anyone who looks like me who was above the rank of captain on my department that had a spine. Now, I'm not saying butts don't have a spine. Clearly, he's got something, because he's willing to take the heat that's coming his way, and civil liberty units, the ACLU for sure, is they big mad about this. But it doesn't look like there's going to be anything that they can do to stop him between now and next Tuesday. So, it just goes to show you that there's no extent to which these people will not go to misrepresent facts, to hide facts, to give you lip service in pursuit of whatever. And listen, over there in Inglewood, you guys voted him in the office twice, right? Twice you voted him in the office. I don't know when he's up for election next. I don't know if he just got voted in again in 2018. I don't know, because I don't live in Inglewood. But I'm just saying, y'all keep putting him in office. When people tell you who they are, you might want to believe them. So that's what's going on right now in Inglewood, California. Not good. Not good. And that's why, when I talk about comply and complain, that's part of the reason why I say, just do what the officer told you to do. I get that they may be dead wrong and you've got rights and all that, but when you are not here and your family is fighting a bureaucracy because they're trying to get records or they're trying to get audio and video, it's very difficult, and you're gone. You're gone. And so now your family is reeling with the loss of you because you didn't comply, because you know your rights. And then you got a police bureaucracy that's putting forth all kinds of obstacles in pursuit of justice on behalf of you, those of you who don't want to comply and complain. So I'm going to talk a lot more about that next year, and I'm certainly going to talk a lot about it when I am face-to-face with folks, because, again, I believe part of the problem, and there's not one thing that's going to fix this, but part of the problem is you guys need to get on these police departments. You need to be a Chief James T. Butts on Santa Monica PD or Inglewood PD or LAPD, or you name a PD, right? You need to be a commissioner in Baltimore. Young folks should be encouraged to join police departments the same way we encourage young people to become doctors and lawyers. Why is it that so many times folks who are dealt a disservice, or feel that they were nonetheless, in the penal system with regards to prison, go on and become lawyers, and they want to make a difference? There was a young man I talked about named Isaac Wright, I believe. 50 Cent is going to do a documentary on him. I mean, this young man fought for years to get out of jail, ultimately got out, and then he went on to become an attorney. And so good for him. Good for him. But we need people to have that same kind of mindset about getting on these police departments, because I believe what these police chiefs, commissioners, and sheriffs want us to do is say F the police and don't get on. While they bring on, the good old boys, they bring on the Pat Lynches and the others who think very differently than we think, right? Change is going to come from the inside. Help me, help you. Let's fix this thing together, right? So, everybody, I will see you in 2019. And until then, be good and be safe. Happy New Year. Tell a friend. Share this video. See ya.